I was requested to do this by Rats96.
Good movies, don't get me wrong. I like both of the Wonder Womans. I like Aquaman. I like Shazam.
I'm doing it.
At best of 50%.
Yeah.
Hey, if you've seen every single one, you've seen more than me.
There's so many
I've seen
glaring
some
issues,
of them.
and the biggest problem, I think it's clear to me. They very clearly want to build this
That
world
ended up being
around
canceled.
Superman and Batman and whatever the fuck was happening in the first 3 films.
But not anymore.
And it's just so all over the place now.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're doing, and that's very clear to me.
They haven't known what they've been doing from the start, though.
My biggest problem is that everybody complains that all movies nowadays are franchise films, and they're all these interconnected
And they're all
universes.
superhero
when in
movies.
reality, Marvel is the only one that's doing this and succeeding.
Yep.
No other franchise film, no other big cinematic universe has taken off at all. The DCEU
Monsterverse, because Godzilla did it before MCU did.
Goddamn life support.
They're not even on thin ice. They're on thick water.
Well, not
Yeah,
Monsterverse
they're on
specifically,
thick
just
water.
Godzilla in general.
Like, they've got a couple hits, sure, but they have not hit their stride yet.
One could argue that their big hits, like Aquaman or whatever, are only hits because they're disconnected from the overarching.
Yeah,
Basically.
their best film. Joker is not in the DCEU.
No, but
it's
it's
just
the
a Joker.
it's just a movie.
That
I get what you're saying, but that's what I mean. Is everyone's like, oh, it's all franchise films. No, it's fucking not. Aside from Marvel, nobody is doing this. There are no franchises aside from Marvel that are succeeding right now.
right now the DCEU, Suicide Squad.
I still
isn't
feel like
related to anything.
if Marvel's gonna
It's
be
not.
like
It's
serious
not.
all the
Right, right,
time,
right,
DC
it's
needs
just,
to be more
the Dark Universe
jokey.
fucking failed after one movie.
The Universal Monsterverse failed.
That's what I just
That's
said.
it.
Franchise films are
Yeah,
actually fucking
opinion.
hard to do.
It's
You
Godzilla.
don't
We
have
can
a
never truly
consistent
die
image
and
a
fail.
consistent idea of what this world's supposed to look like and what the story's supposed to be.
Even Star Wars fucked up.
Yeah, Star Wars had an identity crisis in
7, 8,
3
9
films.
Are not.
No, that's because they went
8,
woke.
9, bitch, the prequels, they fucked up big.
But at least those are connected.
That is a story.
Not
that has
really.
Themes, that has plot. It has terrible characters.
It's not good, but at least it's a franchise. 7 and 9 are sequels, and 7 and 8 are sequels, and 8 has nothing to do with 9.
It's amazing to me how quickly a series of movies can have an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because 1, 2, and 3, it's the same shitty universe, but it's still the same universe that all.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so I kind of want to get into this too. DCEU movies, we've done it this way, a way that I don't think was intentional, in order of release. Because it's weird to think that the Man of Steel BVS Justice League arc, quote, quote, is building to Justice League. And then because Justice League failed, post-Justice League, there's no over arc. There's
No.
nothing. Each movie is just disconnected.
There's nothing going on in the world.
Aquaman
Makes sense.
retcons the fuck out of Justice League's Aquaman scenes. This movie
Shazam
clearly...
has nothing to do with any of the
Shazam has
other
nothing to do with
films.
anything. This clearly backpedals on a lot of Wonder Woman scenes in those movies, even though they take place after this, so it makes no fucking sense.
It's
It's probably for
unclear
the
when
best
Birds of
they're
Prey
just
takes place
not
on the timeline.
connected.
Yep. So it's weird to think that Justice League, BVS, and Man of Steel form this one massive arc of story, and then everything after, all the sequels after Justice League, are completely disjointed and disconnected and retcon each other. Like, why spend so much time and effort building up one massive story to lead to Justice League and then, Dark Side and all
And
that
then
shit
just
after?
abandon it.
And abandon it. Like, I get it, critical failure. I
failed.
get it, you gotta backpedal and everything. But it makes the intro to this universe, the first 5 or 6 movies, completely useless.
Oh, that
The
would have
only
been
things
cool.
they have at this moment.
Or this would be
you can
cool,
cut this
rather.
'cause it might change. But the only things they have at this moment are the Snyder Cut, which is a different version of the film they've already put out, and the Suicide Squad, which is concluding the B arc of Harley Quinn because she's important enough to be the secondary story of this world.
Of course.
And then a redone version of a film they've already put out. I don't see where the future is. Like Marvel, after Endgame, they were like, we had this movie, this TV show, that movie.
And
It's
they're
like,
all
okay, I see where this
woke
is
ass
still going.
shit.
Yep.
DCEU right now, I don't know where. I don't know what the
And I'm not
forward
gonna-
is. And I don't know why.
I don't give a
I'm
shit
not
about
even gonna
Marvel
fucking
anymore. I'm
talk
only
about
watching
this.
it because
I'm
my
not even gonna talk
girlfriend
about
likes it, and
But
it's
I'm
like,
not even gonna fucking
eh.
sugarcoat it. They started
I can
off
put up
this
with
universe
this.
these big plans for Batman and Superman. Who's Batman right now?
Maybe Michael Keaton.
Who's Superman in this universe?
Nobody.
Nobody. Henry Cavill's technically still Superman,
Yep.
but he didn't even show up for the fucking Shazam cameo. It's fucking skinny body double number
You
3.
mean the Shazameo?
Got him.
nice.
It's weird to think because usually when you do
Yeah.
an over arc like this, you start with movies that aren't connected, and then the lighter movies, the ones that build to the thing, connect them. Like that's what Avengers did. That's what basically every story did. Even like short story books, if you want to look at just like what you do in writing a story, you start with different places, different characters, and introducing different people at different times, and they come together at the end.
It
And humans
starts off
in it
with
making
Superman,
made.
and then it immediately goes to Batman and Superman, and it's like I know that they did it because they just had 3 Batman movies outside of this universe, and people might have gotten Batmaned out, I guess.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say it. The Dark Knight, the trilogy, is far enough removed from the public consciousness that you can reboot Batman.
I agree.
They are rebooting
They
Batman.
are rebooting Batman.
They already are.
Constantly.
Like, yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Every
I think it's
5
okay.
I think
minutes.
They just
You know what isn't apparently? Green Lantern.
illegal. Illegal. It's been 10 years.
Now, Diggle is Green Lantern, maybe.
It's been 10 years.
We got in that
Jeez.
time. We had 2 different Spider-Men.
Yep.
True.
We're gonna have all 3 back before we get one more Green
Nobody
Lantern.
liked Amazing 1 or 2, really. And people are like, oh, let's get that back. DC doesn't know how to handle their properties.
Mhm.
Flash is a fucking disaster, and it might not even
They're
start.
on like director number 6 and writer number 18.
Writer number 53 and director number 7. Oh, I'm surprised Ezra Miller's still attached because he's busy choke slamming women. It's like,
Always a
how
good
the
sign.
fuck do they expect anything good from this project? Really?
Just stop.
like, tell me how Flash is gonna be good.
Cyborg's not happening.
Cyborg's not happening. Green Lantern and Cyborg are supposed to come out in 2021. Are they really? We don't even have a fucking guy.
We
cast
didn't
for
get
those
it.
people.
I also want to point out
We
that
did get a
Green
Pets
Lantern and
movie,
Cyborg
though. A
were
superhero
2020.
Pets
Sorry.
movie.
last year.
Done. We don't even have a guy cast. Still.
It is
Like,
a movie that
It blows
exists.
my mind. They had all these Justice League Dark, Green Lantern, all this shit everybody likes.
We got
from the
all
comics,
of these.
Fucking Zatanna film. Fucking all this garbage.
Don't
and they're like,
do that. Don't. give
And
me
they're
hope.
like, they're fucking sitting there, hand in their pants, jerking off for fucking money. Let's put out BVS before the cell. It's not even ready yet. It's just bad anyway. And the fucking extended cut makes.
I
The
mean, of
movie
course,
competent,
Spider-Man
at
3
least.
wasn't
Not
called
great, but
Spider-Man
competent.
3, but,
They didn't even
you
release
know,
a competent
that's just a
film.
title as opposed
I
to
like
this.
BVS. Don't get me wrong, but they made a film that's barely competent and went, yeah, we can release this. Like, that's their whole thing. Every one of these films, even the good ones, is barely competent sometimes. There's so much logic leaps and just bullshit. Suicide Squad, you really think Suicide Squad competent? It's like
No,
14 it's
I
like,
did not say that.
It's like 50 trailers edited into one. Oh, let's
Don't-
make the
you,
movie.
you looked at me like I had said that before at any point.
No, I'm just
You
saying.
were like, you think it's coming? I was like, I'm
No,
not.
no,
Nope,
I'm just
not
saying
here
out
to
loud.
defend it.
Like,
No.
they're like stitching together they're Frankenstein stitching together fucking trailers. They're like, yeah, let's put this guy's fucking skinny ass arm on this big ass bicep. This movie's gonna be great.
This is a
Fucking
good
close.
idea.
I am just so sick. And I don't want to watch cookie cutter garbage either. That's the thing. Like, I would rather have them take a risk.
I think Joker was a big risk.
Joker was a huge
Joker
risk.
is not DCEU.
This is a good
It is the
idea.
Warner thing. It is a Warner film that they took a risk on.
I would argue that it not being part of their universe is
Makes it
inherent.
better.
It's a risk inherent.
Yeah, right.
Because that's not.
What if
their
they
cinematic
tried to
universe.
make Joker in the DCU with Jared Leto? How
Would've
good would that
failed.
be? Come on, both of you. I want to see it out of 10. Joker's Jared Leto.
I'm
fucking
gonna say this. Depends on the writer and director.
garbage. Done.
mean-
Also-
It's the DCU.
After
Opinion.
that, I'd also say it depends on studio interference at that point too.
If the studio has
depends on
one
a lot of
word in that,
things.
it's a 2 at best. I am just so
Joker was kind of just lightning in a bottle.
sick and tired of garbage. And the DCEU
Yep.
goes, man, you know what we need?
More
fucking
garbage.
Garbage.
It does.
They're like taking these great ideas and these great, well-developed comic book characters that teach so many good lessons, and they go, what if I sprinkle some dog shit in there? And
To further Ian's point by like miles, I just always go back to that one report they had, where, and you
They
can
had-
you can look this up. This is true. They were trying to get Michael Bay to direct their Lobo.
Yep,
What?
they were. That is a fact.
They had Lobos in the script, and they were like,
And
let's,
they went, what director? Out of every working director,
let's get
who
him.
do we get? And they're like, I don't know about
Explosions.
Uwe Boll. He might be too busy. Tommy Wiseau? Nah, he's
No,
not really doing
Michael
this anymore.
Bay's a good
He's a
pick because it'll
Transformers
make
guy. Yeah, let's get
fucking
him. He knows how to make a good
money.
universe with no bullshit, no continuity errors. They reboot the origins of Transformers every movie. Oh, it was we learned from the internet.
But
No,
it still
space
made
time.
trillions
No,
of dollars. That's why they
Merlin.
made
No, the
80
Earth
of
is
them.
unicorn. Fuck you, Jeff Johns. He needs to step down. He can't be tarnishing his name with this. This man invented some of the best shit.
The sad fact is, he is still tarnishing his name with this, and it gets to a point where you gotta wonder: is he
more part of the problem now?
Yeah.
He's old. He might not be. You know.
He's got to be part of the problem. I'm sorry, man.
One of the things that just pisses me off so bad, it's they had this whole slate announced.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think half
Barely
of those
anything.
Flash is supposed to be out for 3 years.
Flash was coming out in 2018.
It was what, 10 films, and I think 2 came out.
It's just weird. It's like I keep thinking
Yeah,
of Flash 2018. Like
we got
oh, it's gonna
Aquaman,
start-
Shazam,
it's gonna start
Wonder
ready. No, it was
Woman,
supposed to
Batman v
release
Superman,
in
Man of
2018.
Steel,
That was their original plan.
Suicide
You want to
Squad.
talk more about DC projects, dude? Fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson was announced
Basically it.
in the mid 2000s
As Black Adam.
As Black Adam.
Oh,
My
Jesus.
biggest gripe with that slate is it's so fucking pretentious from them. They're like,
They're acting like they haven't been fucking around for the last 6 years.
Marvel. How many movies got pulled off a Marvel slate? I'll give you a hint. One.
1, Inhumans,
Inhumans. And it still came out as a show.
and it sucked.
I gotta keep harping on the Black Adam thing because Dwayne the Rock Johnson is the biggest star in all of Hollywood right now for the past like few years. That's never lasts. No one stays king. So
Yeah.
you need to make that movie as soon as fucking possible because if you wait another 5, 6, 7, 8 years, guess
No
what?
one's gonna be caring for the Rock anymore.
He's not gonna be the Rock he is now. He's gonna be less of a Rock.
I would argue they've already missed their
Give me a
window.
pebble.
They've probably already missed their big
Yeah,
window.
because people have already started dunking on the Rock for his
Yeah.
bad movies.
Yeah, if you really
Yeah.
say like now, maybe you get some of that hype.
Yeah, but they have to make it first.
they have to make it first.
This movie's at least a year and a half, 2 years removed. Sorry, The Rock's
And
not
I'm-
even. The
I'm
Rock
sorry.
isn't Keanu Reeves right now.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but they've had plenty of fucking time. The Rock, it's not like he's always shooting movies. This DCEU has been a thing for what, 10 almost years? They've had plenty of fucking
Jeez, it's only
time
been 10
to
years.
shoot one movie with The Rock.
They've had plenty of time to shoot The Flash too.
Yep, but they're gonna court Michael Bay
Yeah.
for Lobo. That's their plan.
They announced.
Watch it
so
do
many
good,
things.
surprisingly.
And
It's all just announcements.
It's all just. It's like all the Star Wars shit that got announced, the trilogy and the show. I'm surprised Obi-Wan's even happening.
Yeah,
Like
I'll be honest.
this.
And it came out.
Is,
I bet you that's only happening because Ewan McGregor pushed for it. That
Probably.
is it. That is 100% it.
yeah, that's one of the only things fans wanted to.
Yeah,
But, like-
dude, I remember when Disney was like, "We got Star Wars." All the fans were like, "So you're making an Obi-Wan show, right?"
And then they're
Or
like,
movie?
let's make a Han Solo movie. And they're like, everyone wanted Obi-Wan. Why are you making this?
Yeah.
Everything DC puts out right now, I'm just like, I'm up in the air about it. And that's not a good way to be.
No.
Like, when Marvel puts something out, I might say, oh, this might be cookie cutter garbage. But at least it's going to be like
And it
5
will
or
be.
6 every time, consistently.
Aside from Thor, and in my opinion, Iron Man 3, the worst Marvel can be is just kind of generic.
Mm.
Even like Ant-Man. Ant-Man's a fun movie, but it's just not groundbreaking. It's just fun. You know what I mean? Like, things like that.
And I
Fair
think
enough.
what hurts the most, at least for me, and I know Ian feels very similar to me because he's very similar to that effect. These are my favorite characters, and I know they're your favorite characters too. You love Green Lantern and all that shit.
Yep.
But like, it's not like they're in public domain. They're copyrighted. The
Yeah.
only studio that can make movies or TV shows with these characters is Warner Brothers.
Mhm.
Yep.
So we're at their leisure for seeing anything with them in it.
Yep.
So when they keep over and over fucking up and not making, I'd say, a great movie, well, Shazam aside, since like fucking Dark Knight in this DC properties, I'd say, something's hilariously wrong.
Yeah.
I just, it really, I
Yeah.
really wish that, say, it would, like Hercules, any studio can make a Hercules movie.
Yep.
And you get some great ones, you get some terrible ones. But at the very least, you give everyone fair game to make them.
Frankenstein. Any studio
The
can make a Frankenstein
goddamn
movie.
true.
television network that brings you Supernatural and I think Vampire Diaries and Riverdale is doing better with these characters.
And I'd argue they have a lot of problems,
And
too.
they have a lot of problems.
Weird.
They're not perfect, but now that we've watched all the CW crossovers and all the DCEU, fuck yes, the CW crossovers are usually better.
Yeah, has there been a shark in a DCEU movie
No,
yet?
there hasn't.
No.
Well, the Suicide Squad.
will have
But
one.
like, I compare the best that this series has to offer, Shazam, and then I think about the best of the CW, Crisis on Earth X, and I'm honestly up in the air about which I prefer.
Yeah.
Crisis on Earth X is great.
Are we really comparing a $200 million movie and a $50 million movie to a fucking TV show?
Let me throw this one at you though. Think about it this way: Shazam is probably the most removed post Justice League because it literally features none of the characters from the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
So are we saying that the best film? I know you're still out the air about
It's a
Aquaman,
mix, but
let me put it this way to you. Hypothetically, if we all pick Shazam, we're saying that the best film in this universe is the one that has the least to do with this universe.
Great sign.
Compared to Crisis on Earth X, which is strong because it still pulls on the universe it's built in.
Yeah.
And brings in the themes from all the
Great
different
picture,
shows.
though.
see, my thing is, are we really comparing a CW show to a fucking movie studio from Warner
Given
Brothers?
how crappy
Yes.
they are,
Let's
yes, we
compare
are.
it to a movie studio. Endgame paid off all their fucking setups, unlike Crisis on
It also
Infinite
made
Earths.
almost $3 billion because
Yep.
it's not shit.
It's not shit at all, and fucking it pays off everything that's come before, unlike Crisis, both crises.
Yeah,
Unlike literally everything in the DCU, including Justice League 2017.
I don't
So
want to talk about this
we
anymore.
have the Snyder Cut, which isn't even new.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That is a 5-year-old movie almost. 'Cause it was produced in
That only
2016.
got released because fans were so mad with the version that we got.
And I'd argue the only reason it's getting released is because they have a streaming service. Because that's not going in theaters. There's no way they're going to
It
release
didn't,
that
I
in
don't
theaters.
think.
It's not. It's going to
They
DC
announced
Nation.
because like the only reason they revived the project was because they can stream it. They're not gonna fucking put a 4-hour Snyder cut and fucking. They make $10 million.
You know what pisses me off the most? As much as this universe blows, and as much as this universe is dunked on everything I like, I'm still gonna be like, maybe the Snyder Cut has the characters I like.
Yeah, we're slaves to whatever they make next.
We will
Yeah,
find out when
that's how it is.
DCEU-thon returns for the Snyder Cut.
Oh, maybe the Snyder Cut has fucking 10 more seconds of Green Lantern, and I'll get excited. Maybe it'll be a fucking somewhat of a character. Anything at all. Maybe the Flash won't be as fucking annoying and talk about brunch the whole movie. Maybe Batman won't go, I don't not like you.
I don't know how many of those scenes Zack Snyder wanted or Joss Whedon put in. Those might be in the Snyder Cut. Who knows?
Brunch is 100% a reshoot.
If,
Oh, yeah.
if Batman says, I don't not like you in the Snyder Cut, I'm turning it off.
Yeah, it's pretty true. DCEU is kind of fucked. The sad thing about it is that, like, I prefer DC to Marvel, so it's like, and again, that's probably because the problem is, like, I don't like how Marvel is insanely popular and everyone was copying it. There's 5 billion superhero shows, so that's probably a part of it. Or just fatigue of the series. I don't know. Maybe it's just because at this point DC is the underdog and you kind of like root for the underdog in a fight, you know? I don't know. It's sad. It really is. And the sad thing is when they have another DC thing come out, it's just going to be like, well, maybe it won't be shit. And it usually is. Just a shame. Like I said before, if Marvel's going to be mostly serious and try to deal with other serious topics, I think DC needs to be more jokey themed, be like comic book. Well, they're all comic booky, but you know, like if Marvel's going to be the straight man, then DC needs to be like the wacky one. Just be like, okay, here's our comic books you like that are serious. DC be the one that's like, and here's all the wacky stuff where we do whatever the heck we want, because fuck it, it's fun. Don't need a real extended universe for that, just make some fun movies. It's a popcorn flick. Like, here's the thing, we talk about Lobo being directed by Michael Bay. There's a reason they made like 87 fucking Transformers movies. Because they kept making millions of dollars. Because people kept going to see them. It doesn't matter if Michael Bay's a good director. He just keeps making motherfucking money. At the end of the day, that's all Hollywood cares about. Your money. Not that that's bad, it's a business, that's capitalism, but still. Remember, frickin' Maleficent 2 was considered a box office bomb for making like $10 million in the opening weekend. You give me $10 million, I am not fucking bitching. Unless I found out you did it by killing my entire family, in which case I'm gonna bitch a little, but that's beside the point. Oh yeah. Maybe the DC universe will turn around. I don't know. At this point, it's like the TNA of freaking movie series. It's been knocked down so many times, we're wondering how the fuck it keeps staying up. Oh yeah. Flash will be shit regardless, though, because the freaking actor is shit. Just a shitty person. Yeah, they'll make the Stag movie, and maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I like Stag, so I can have hope for that at least. Anything else to say. Here's looking forward to like 18 more Batman movies though. Just contrast the obligated.